WIIFTBPM.
WIIFTBP. Media's just for you and me. WIIFTBP. Media's just for you and me.
So west suburbs and Chicagoland area, the Naperville Soulfest is back, featuring a live performance by Avery Sunshine and Carl Thomas. On Friday, June 3rd, and Kindred the Family Soul. Selena Johnson and Riis. On stage Saturday, June 4th at Naper Settlement, located at 523 South Weber Street in downtown Naperville. If you missed the last Naperville Soul Fest, you don't want to miss this one. Get your discounted tickets on Eventbrite or visit NapervilleSoulFest.com for more event details. For vendor opportunities with access to over 7,000 attendees, text 630-202-6431. That's 630-202-6431. Spend your first weekend in June at the Naperville Soul Fest with Avery Sunshine Friday, June 3rd, and Kindred the Family Soul on Saturday, June 4th. Check out NapervilleSoulFest.com for more information.
You see me, you see him, my best friend. He hold me down like ankles fighting the waves. A partner to my crime, yeah, do time. Till I'm with you, I'll be counting the days. Yeah, ooh, been through so many things, but we always get through. Yeah, ooh, it ain't always perfect, but it's worth it. This is deeper than the surface. If I said I didn't love you, you would not know I've been frontin'. Wiped all my scars away like it was nothing. Took the parts of me I tried to hide to make them something, something. Like it was nothing. Ooh, so much, baby. Ooh, you know you drive me crazy. Ooh, you give me peace of mind. Ooh, let me tell you why. You make it easy. Say, to take it easy. Say, feel so weak. Say, easy to love. Say, to take it easy. Say, feel so weak. Say, easy to love. I never thought that I would give it to you, but now I don't think it's the time. I won't do it. I think it's cause the way you talk to me. Know how to say it without making me feel little. You're gracious even when you pop off on me. When you get done, I got a little something to drop off on you. Because you earned it with the time you took to put it that way. You got me liking to get put in my place. If I said I didn't love you, you would not know I've been frontin'. Wiped all my scars away like it was nothing. Took the parts of me I tried to hide to make them something, something. Like it was nothing. Ooh, some magic, baby. Ooh, you know you drive me crazy. Ooh, you give me peace of mind. Ooh, let me tell you why. You make it easy. Say, to take it easy. Say, feel so easy. Say, easy to love. Easy, you make it easy. Say, to take it easy. Say, feel so weak. Say, easy to love. You make it easy. You make it easy. You make it easy.
WIFTBPM.
What's in it for the black people?
You are listening to the most dangerous show. This is What's in It for the Black People Radio. Mays Jackson. Mays Jackson, the most vociferous advocate for black people in the world.
For Ruthie Moore, for Ty Stroger, I am the host of the Mays Jackson Show, asking every single day, what's in it for the black people? And if you don't like it, you can still tell them Mays said, Mayor Lightfoot, man, we ain't accepting that. We ain't accepting that. Let's go. Yeah. Let's get down to business and go ahead and address the facts, man. Lightfoot seems more lesbian than black. Rahm Emanuel's another case. He was just as tired. 50 closed schools left much to be desired. Police had Anjanette naked on that body cam. They suppressed the footage so it couldn't touch a lot of hands. Reminds me of that 16 shots in that cover up. Both of them similar, so I went and dug it up. George Floyd killed, a lot of riots happened in the town. Southside burned and they wouldn't let them bridges down. Grandmother sick, need a prescription and plus a couple groceries. You gon' have to travel just to get it now. COVID-19 out here shutting all the business down. Not enough SBA loans to even give around. So many failed businesses that you can put them in the pile. If you don't survive the pandemic, it's gonna sit you down. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System the milk is so bad, we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System the milk is so bad, we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks. Shout out to Willie Wilson, hope one day you get to Senate. We need some different players in the game to handle business. Too many shady characters like Madigan and Blago. But when you really break it down, it's typical Chicago. City full of gangsters, it's what the land was built on. Same streets with hood legends, DNA gets spilled on. Carjackers out here lurking, trying to get they steal on. Looking for a block to put them Hellcat wheels on. Let this give bogus appraisals a red line. Car crackers out here getting minimal fair time. And I'm concealed carry, I stay with the pipe. But Illinois gun laws giving minimal rights. Stay up on the swivel, make sure I'm moving tight. Check all of my mirrors when I pull up to the light. Pick my homie up from out of town, man, he caught a flight. He was hella nervous, told him, shorty, this a way of life. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System the milk is so bad, we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System the milk is so bad, we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks.
Good afternoon, Chicago. Good afternoon, world. This is the Mays Jackson Show in the afternoons. That's right. It's in the afternoons. It's your man, Mays Jackson, on the ones and twos, and I'm on the yellows, remember. All right. It seems like I'm getting a little... There it is. I think that's it. Maybe it's me. Maybe I need to redirect. You sound like I've gotten what I'm looking for right there. It's the Mays Jackson Show. Riis, we've been here. This is going on week 3 of the afternoons. And Riis, I'm thinking I want to go back to the mornings. Not for good, though. But just till the end of the month. Because it's a Tuesday. That's right. It's a Tuesday. Not a Monday, but a Tuesday. We came back to work on a Tuesday. Riis, would you ever come back to work on a Friday? Like if you had Monday through Thursday off, would you come on a Friday or would you call off? Have you ever had like the day off and then you be like, man, I need another day. So you be like, what? I was just thinking, what if Riis called me and said, I can't make it on Tuesday?
Just out the blue, nah, I never. But it have been like it was a holiday or something, like a weird one, like on the Thursday. But I usually plan it out. Like at old jobs, I usually in like December when it's like that break and going into January when you get your new hours. Mm-hmm. I usually look at all the holidays where they fall, and then I immediately, because you can put it in,
Oh, you one of them.
So I used to put mine in January 1st. I got something that's in October. So now, it's no way you could tell me no. Like I'm just like, there's no way I put this in January and it's October. I can't go.
If I was smart, I probably would have thought of that. And you look at all the holidays and then you just put the front and the back end on them. Like if you had the choice of having Friday off or Monday off, which would you rather have?
Monday.
Because you get Friday be light anyway, for the most part. Friday people be less stressed, yeah. And then Friday if they say you got to work on Friday by like 11:30, people like, man, you think we can get out of here? The boss be like, all right.
Yeah.
Unless you like on a factory grind,
right.
Or you got a show like we got, you got to be there for the thing. But even on that, then you can have a drink or something.
Yeah. So yeah, I'd rather take that.
Well, you can.
I'd rather take that Monday.
You take the Monday?
I take that Monday. That Friday, nah. I like that Monday better.
Okay.
But then I feel like it shortened my week. Like I come in there and now my weeks is just shortened already. Yeah.
See, it make that to me. I'll be thinking about that Thursday. Well, I guess you're right. Cause yeah, you might be right. Even though I do think like Thursday night, if you used to go out on Thursday night, you'd be like, "Ooh, let me get."
Especially if you.
I don't go out no more, so it don't make no difference. I be in the house.
If you flying, you know, it's cheaper to come back on a Monday than a Sunday anyway.
All right, and you know it'd be funny, well, unless it's a black event, like the Super Bowl or the All-Star game or something like that, because then, you know, everybody be trying to come back the next day because they got a party the night before. All right, y'all, it's Tuesday. On a Tuesday, the 31st, the first day of early voting. Y'all get out there and do what y'all supposed to do for the lady. You know, we're going to talk about this in a minute, Riis. But anyway, I'm your host, Mace Jackson, on Tuesday, May 31st. Riis, where did the first part of the year go? We at the halfway mark.
Man, I was saying the same thing.
Like halfway through the year already, Joe. Halfway. And you know the summer gonna be like, soon as Chosen Few get here, it's gonna be like, dang, it's over. Riis, have you been to Chosen Few?
Never.
This is what is amazing to me. It could be the biggest event in the world and be on the south side, and west side people have no clue. I don't even be thinking west side people barely go to the Bud Billiken parade.
Yeah, we do. That's downtown.
That's not downtown. Bud Billiken.
Oh, Bud Billiken. I'm thinking taste. Oh no.
See, I'm telling.
Bud Billiken for sure we do.
Okay, yeah. All right. I'm just telling you, man. The west side be like, I'm telling you, the biggest thing in the world could happen on the south side. West side be like, nah, I ain't go. Shoot, they be worried about that west side ID though, because when you be trying to get in the building, you know what I'm saying. But all right. Hey, y'all, it's the Mace Jackson Show on the Tuesday. Let me say what's up to my man, DJ Riis, the ruler on the ones and twos. DJ Riis, the ruler. How you feeling?
Blessed by the best. You already know the rest, man, on a Tuesday.
Hey, man, how was your Monday, Sunday, Saturday?
Man, you know what? I slept the entire day yesterday. I don't know if it's since I'm not 8, but, like, I just slept. I slept the entire day on yesterday. I actually have been up since 10 p.m. yesterday.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I never went back to sleep, so I've been up.
I said yesterday I wasn't doing nothing, so I said I was going to ensure I wasn't going to do nothing. I got musty.
That's how you know.
Like, I ain't take no shower. I was like, nope, I'm not good. Right? So if I was tempted to go outside, then I finally had to break it. Like, if I had to, I was like, nope, I ain't taking no shower.
That's the secret.
I'm not, nope, nope.
I just stayed in, slept. I woke up, been up, and that's about it. What I do on the weekend, I went to see her in Coldplay. Yeah, I actually saw.
Wait, you went to the Coldplay Her concert?
Yeah, man. You know, listen, Coldplay actually.
I went to see Coldplay before.
They're good.
First of all, I went to go see Coldplay. Like, you know what? The same weekend LeBron James got drafted.
Wow.
I was in Cleveland, and we were there for a show for the circus. And part of the time I was there, I went to LeBron James draft night in Cleveland, the night they drafted him. And then I went to see Coldplay. And what's old boy, Rob, remember when Santana? That Santana Rob, the white boy?
No.
Give me your heart, babe. But anyway, I went to go see them and Coldplay. I want to say Coldplay might have been opening.
Really?
Like, they might not reach it. I mean, it was like, think about how long has LeBron James been in the league?
18 years.
So think about Coldplay 18 years ago. I think they were opening. Because I think Rob Thomas and whatever, give me your heart, baby, with Santana, and he was, I can't even think of it right now. But, yep, I was in Cleveland. Coldplay. Riis, you just saw him at, I saw people were excited to go to see it this weekend.
Yeah, like I said, it was pretty.
Did you go, you didn't go to Swing-Yo Festival?
No, I didn't.
Swing-Yo, how was that?
I didn't.
Oh, no, I didn't even really see too much of it. I saw, like, they took the drone shot, but they didn't do it like, I don't know that it was the Lollapalooza of reggaeton.
Okay.
But that's what it was. All right. So, Mays and Riis on the plane, man. Let's get the soul plane up to 60,000 feet. You got it? We up, and away. This is the Mays Jackson Show. Riis, 48-9. 48-9. That was when I wrote. That was at 9 o'clock this morning when I wrote this. I don't know if the weekend total has gone up, but it was 48 people shot, 9 dead. They said it was up from last year. I thought that was pretty good, though. 48-9, I thought that was... I mean, now I do think when I think of shootings, I count shootings because they meant to kill you. Mm-hmm. Right? You just got lucky. And now surgery, if this was 20 years ago or 30 years ago when they counted and they didn't have the medical technology to save you, that's why the numbers were so high back in the day. You got choppered, you got hit you was done. Now they could stitch you back up, hand you a bag, and you good. Not good, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
They can keep you alive.
Yeah, I just witnessed that a year ago with somebody.
Oh, don't even want to talk about it. I don't even want to talk about it. It's not even a good topic to talk about, okay? Let's just let that be. All right, so Starbucks in Chicago joining the union. They got 2 shops. Riis, have you been in a union before?
Have I been in a union?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Did you like it?
It was pretty cool.
Okay.
Pretty cool.
They get a cut, but they man, I know people with the union, they be like, man, if something happened, they be like, call my union.
Yeah, right.
They be like, before you even look at me, call my union.
Yeah, I think that's the best thing about it, that you got representation, but they do take that fee out. So they,
hey, man.
It's pretty good, man. Protect your rights and everything. So yeah, I definitely enjoyed my time in the union, paid my dues. Yeah, I definitely enjoyed that, and I was a CTA. I definitely did.
Man, hold on. Yeah, man, I just think that that'll be interesting to see. All right, Paul Vallis is planning on running for mayor, man. He's announcing on Wednesday. Riis, I got a call. Said Paul Vallis is announcing for mayor, and he'd like to come on the show. Now, Riis, I want to talk about this in a minute, but it's kind of crazy to me. Okay, so let's think. Who's running for mayor? We know the mayor is not probably coming on the show. She's avoided us a long time. Willie Wilson's running for mayor. Within about a couple days of being running for mayor, he came on the show. Ray Lopez running for mayor. Came on the show right after he announced. Paul Vallis announced for mayor. He came right on the show. Why the 2 brothers don't want to come on the show? Fred Collins and my man Cam. They ain't even call me, man.
But Cam came on before he announced before, right?
Right, but I mean, I want to talk to you as the mayoral candidate. I'm a little sensitive. You know what I'm saying? I just don't want my friends I'm sensitive, but I'm gonna let it be. But I am I'm just saying, Riis, dude was before as I launch and embark upon this, we want to make sure that I was like, wait, you calling me because who running for? I remember when Paul Vallis was the cool white guy, and then it's now it's I feel like back in I was saying this back in 1990 something, Paul Vallis would have been the black, he would have had all the black people like Paul Vallis back in the day. Now it's you know how y'all I feel time has changed so crazy that now it'd be he the man, not the man, not the good. You know what I'm saying? It's I think one of the things that a lot of us are having a challenge with is the redefining of how we interact and how we view race and stuff. And I want to talk about it a little bit later. Did y'all see the Tribune splits the baby? They did what I'm going to tell y'all, they did this. They took a page out of the last What's in it for the Black People governor's race. So, Riis, the Tribune decided to endorse Paul Shrimp for governor on the Republican side. You know, have you ever even heard of him? Right. It's like, they were like, talking to everybody, he's the best candidate. But he ain't gonna win. So then guess who they endorsed?
Who they do now?
Your boy.
Yes, sir.
So look, they endorsed Richard. They was like, we go for Paul Shrimp. But if you are trying to win, then we gotta support Richard Irvin. We don't like a couple things that he's done, but if you want the best chance to beat JB, if you're a tactical voter, then that's who you vote for. So it was like they couldn't bear to give a black man his props. Now, Riis, but I'm still saying I can't forgive him for the slave commercial. Whew.
Showing his heritage and where we come
Riis.
from, man. We come from those struggles, man.
Riis, it's kind of like interesting when we are allowed to talk about those struggles, though.
Facts.
It's like when it's convenient, then black people, like, we're going to talk about this in a little while because I'm a little confused about some things, but I'm going to ask you. But Riis, so they essentially put the Paul Shrimp on the front page, on the editorial, and said, this is who we endorse. He's this, he's this, he's this, he's this. But they was like, he probably not going to win. And if we thinking about who really has the best chance to win, they was like, well, then we got to go with Richard Irvin. You know where we saw this before?
And then say, we really want to endorse him, but...
But this is the guy who has the best chance to win. If you're voting for the best candidate, this is the person. But if you're strategic and you're trying to win, then vote for Richard Irvin. It's sort of like 4 years ago when we first started What's in it for the Black People. And T.O. was running for governor. And J.B. had just gotten busted for what he said about least offensive. So now as the chairman and president of What's in it for the Black People, the question is, and then T.O. came on the debate, Riis, with a dashiki joke and a cold one. He came out like, he came out like on some Black Panther, like, I mean, it was like, I don't even know how to explain it to you. It was so cold. Like when you turned on the TV and you saw the brother standing up there doing this thing, it was like, ding! And it was like, black people then, it was like, and Black Panther that just came out too. So now I have to explain to black people, if we want to, you got two choices. If you're going to vote and we're going to vote on blackness purely, we got to go with T.O. Now, if we want to pick the winner, then J.B. Pritzker is probably going to win. So we gave T.O. the endorsement. But if you wanted to play a different long game, then it would, you know what I'm saying? But you got it. And so,
I see.
Right? It's like, man, Charlie. So, I don't know, man. Riis, that's going to be that's Richard Irvin got the backhanded endorsement of the Sun-Times. They gave him the endorsement, of the Tribune. They kind of didn't give him the endorsement. They didn't give it to him. They put a different pitch up there and was like, if we could, but we going to have to. Riis, it was kind of crazy. At least I put both pictures up there.
Nah, they want you to know who they are. So you'll know the face, like, really want you to vote for this person.
Right, but if you must. If you want to win, pick the black guy.
But if you got to choose to
right.
be logical.
If you have to not be emotional. All right, did you see Chance the Rapper and Anita Baker? Did you hear about what's going on with them?
But they beefing or something?
Yeah, it's like a love affair, dog.
What you mean a love affair?
Chance got Anita Baker back her masters. And so she was just showing out. I had y'all. You was like, wait a minute, what?
Right, what you mean, love affair?
Nah, it was the love. Anita Baker was sending out much Twitter love to Chance the Rapper for helping her get her masters back. And they were at a concert or a show, and she was singing. And gave him a shout out and said, I had no idea he was in the audience, but thank you for Chance the Rapper helping me get my masters back. And I just thought that was pretty dope. You know, Chance be on the sleeper side getting stuff done, so I'm not going to hate. That was pretty dope. Because, like, I was thinking about Anita Baker. My parents didn't listen to Anita Baker, but that was like one of them old people. She was like too old for me to really understand, but I liked her voice. And now that I can understand, I'd be like, dang, Anita Baker.
I listen to a lot of Anita
You
Baker.
bring me joy. I was listening to Anita Baker today in the house. Like, dang, she had, and Tidal be having a lot of hits. They played the Anita Baker greatest hits. I was just like, go ahead. All right, let me see what else. I think they said that they extradited a drug dealer from a different country for running a heroin and cocaine ring in Chicago. Like, he came from a different country, south of us, and ran like one of the biggest cartels. Like, Chicago is clearly a hub of cartels, I'm going to assume from Africa. But man, Riis, that story was kind of crazy. Like, the dude, this is unbelievable. All right, let me see. What else did I get? Oh, did you see they trying to save Promontory Point? And shout out to Mickey's Grill for getting the Mickey's Grill at 71st and the Lake Street and the lake. I didn't even know it was a 71st on the lake. But congratulations to Mickey's Grill, man. We got to get over there. We need to broadcast live from over there. They tripping, man.
Yeah, man, we gotta, that's what you gotta start doing, man. You gotta start, see if you can broadcast live somewhere these summers, man. Someplace,
Go somewhere and they can bring us drinks to the. What, Riis? You supposed to be on that. You should have got us at What a Jerk. What a jerk.
What a jerk.
See, we should have broadcast live from there. See, we should be broadcast. We should broadcast live from Soleil. We could broadcast live from
Beauty. See that?
Solo Beauty. Oh, man.
Yeah, see that? Yeah.
Man, we could sit outside. Man, let's do it.
Broadcast live from TP one day.
We gonna broadcast live from TP once a month with a live band after work till on Friday. They're gonna be having. We gonna get them slushies. As a matter of fact, I was thinking about buying me my own slushie machine.
Okay.
And then just getting the extract. Just being like, boom! Don't wait. Celebrate. All right, y'all. It's the Maze Jackson Show. When we come back, I want to really get into the social media question of the day. I want to talk about a serious subject, and I want to really get to the root of some of the things that are happening in some of the conversations that we're having. So give us a call. Get ready. I'm going to put the phone number up. I would like for you to call in today. 872-259-7474. Get ready to call. I would like this to be a participatory show. But we'll be back after these messages.
The Maze Jackson Show. We'll be back after this break.
WIFTBPM.
Broken screen? Crash system? Are you in need of spyware or virus removal from your computer? Well, contact RPC Computer Repair in South Shore and let us help you with all your computer repair services and print needs. Need office or print production services, copies, scans, fax, or even notary service. Then stop by and support RPC Computer Repair and Print Shop located 1741 East 71st Street in the 71st Street corridor, newly revitalized South Shore areas, and let RPC be your one-stop shop, where we believe RPC is your PC. RPC Computer Repair is also a UPS access point where you can drop off and pick up your important packages. So let RPC be of service to you. Call RPC Computer Monday through Saturday, 8 a.m. through 6 p.m. at 773-966-4457. That's 773-966-4457. Visit RPC at rpccomputeringinc.com for more information.
And now, traffic and weather.
Yo, who said devotion has to be sad? Yo, check this out. The Lord is my shepherd, I want. He's making me to lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside the still waters. He restores my soul. God's gonna turn it around. Come all the way with me.
Good morning. What's in it for the Black People Media family? Sorry, good afternoon. I'm Riis the Ruler with your Chicagoland area traffic and weather report. As we head up for the sports, Cubs lose both games yesterday on Memorial Day, 7-6 and 3-1. Let's head over to traffic on the Kennedy. O'Hare to the Loop is 60 minutes. Outbound to O'Hare will be 36. On the Edens from Deerfield to Exchange, 63 minutes. Exchange to Deerfield will be 40 minutes. Eisenhower, Thorndale to the Loop, 45 minutes. 50 minutes back out to Thorndale. On the Stevenson from I-355 to the Dan Ryan will be 39 minutes. Outbound will be 55. The Bishop Ford from I-80 to the Dan Ryan and back will be 35 minutes, while the Dan Ryan is 16 minutes to the Loop, 23 minutes to 95th. On DuSable Drive South, 55th to Jackson and back will be 9 minutes, while north side, Randolph to Bremar, 8, Bremar to Randolph, 13 minutes. Today's weather, it is currently 82 and cloudy. Today will be a high of 88 with a low of 72. I'm Riis the Ruler. Happy Tuesday here on The Mays Jackson Show.
Glory got 70, got 70, they got the, oh, got to the green, from the green, back to glory. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. Come all the way with me. Don't leave me now. Come all the way with me. Please.
You are listening to the Mays Jackson Show. He brought my chips back. Man, they was tripping, man. I don't want to eat my sandwich with no chips, man. Look, y'all, this is the Mays Jackson Show. I'm your host, Mays Jackson. Got my man, DJ Riis the Ruler, on the ones and twos. And, y'all, I've been going through a thing here lately. I don't know if y'all know. But I really have. And I want y'all to give us a call at 872-259-7474. Riis, open up the phone lines and then get ready to hit the button. Because I'm ready. What's the matter? We don't got a phone?
I don't see the show live.
You don't see the show live.
Okay, now it's back. It left for a minute, but it's back.
Okay. They trying to get us, man. Let me check. Let me get in this space, you know.
Yeah, but I just watched it end, but it's back now. Like it's like everybody joining back now.
All right, so it's the Mays Jackson Show. I'm your host, Mays Jackson. Got my man, DJ Riis the Ruler, on the ones and twos. Let me go into and check my settings. Just making sure, because sometimes I don't be looking. And when I don't look, they be trying to sneak diss us. They be saying, look, Mays, you are doing way too much. So hold on 1 second. Let's go to the tools. Let me say this. welcome to everybody who is watching the Mays Jackson Show live on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch. That's right. You can get us on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch every day, Monday through Friday, 3 to 6 p.m. Now, if you are tuning in on the rebroadcast, and this is the time we welcome the Saints. The Saints would be tuned in right now. We'd be welcome them joining us on live on WBGX 1570 AM, where I still got to go make this switch with this time slot and get everything squared away. But in the meantime, Riis, sometimes I think we have forgotten I think people count on our forgetfulness or are just used to the altruistic version of black people. And what I'd like to do is have a frank and honest discussion. And I would hope that whether you agree with me or you disagree with me, I'd like to ask it. So, Riis, why don't you hit the button? And I am going to get ready to propose this question.
It's time for the social media question of the day.
The social media question of the day is, what makes people feel that the Mays Jackson Show could be hateful? Riis, in the past week, maybe past month, the show that we have done for years has come under fire. And it has been pointed out to me on more than one occasion recently, and I think it's particularly surrounding this upcoming election cycle. But it has been proposed that the Mays Jackson Show could be perceived by other groups as being hateful. And there are various communities that make up the patchwork that we call Chicago. I think that Chicago has always been billed as one of the most racially segregated cities in the world. I think it's a fact that we take some pride in some way, shape, or form, or have come to reluctantly accept the fact. And here at the Mays Jackson Show, for the past 5 years, I have apparently unsuccessfully attempted to paint a picture of Chicago through the eyes of various groups, cultures, classes, demographics of all kinds. And it has been brought to my attention that the things that I have said could have been hurtful to other racial and marginalized groups. And I got to be honest with you. Who am I to tell anybody what should be offensive to them? I feel like if I told you that something you said to me was offensive, I don't know that I give anyone the right to tell me what offends them. But I am not curious. I am in a position of introspection because I believe that now maybe what we've done here for the last 5 years will become under a tremendous amount of scrutiny and be looked at as compared to being looked at as artistic expression, colorful, and reflective and introspective of one of the most marginalized groups in Chicago, the groups that are last in every economic indicator, the shortest life expectancy, the highest infant mortality. I wonder what perspective we might be able to have this dialogue without it becoming or being considered hateful. And so what I would like to do is give you the opportunity to give us a call at 872-259-7474. I would like you to be very hypersensitive to because I don't want to create a problem. I guess my question is, and I really would like the people who, I would like to hear from all our callers, but if there is someone that has taken offense to the Mays Jackson show, I'd like to know how we can improve the conversation or dialogue. Now, and I really am concerned about the concept of us providing a platform for hate speech. And I think after getting the last I don't want to say it, the last press release from Congressman Luis Gutierrez, who suggested that I was in some way, shape, or form hateful or attacking the Latino community. It really made me decide that I needed to consider what was the best way and I guess my question is, and I'm going to share the letter, and I'm going to share it in the den, in the lion's den. But I guess my question is, what is it that I could have helped? How do black people discuss our plight in Chicago without it being deemed hateful to anyone else? Give us a call at 872-259-7474. 872-259-7474. What could be considered hateful about the Mays Jackson show? What elements do we need to fix, change? What I've tried to do is make sure that if we speak of different ethnicities or racial groups, that we call them, speak respectfully of the proper not diagnosis, but proper category, right? So should you, if you mention a country, could that be considered hateful? I'll read you an excerpt of what was said, right? You know what? I'm not going to. So I guess my question becomes, how do black people discuss black issues that are life altering, often life or death issues, when we generally come up on the short end? How can you respectfully have the conversation without it being considered hateful? Right? Because we don't provide any slurs. I'll tell you, I had a conversation this weekend I had a dialogue with members of another community who addressed a specific issue that they had with the show. Like they said, man, the issues that you discuss are real, but when you say it like this, bam, then it becomes offensive because it's not all of us, it's just one of us. And I guess, how do we have tough conversations about what happens in Chicago, knowing that the outcomes for black people are generally the worst? Right? Like, how do you convey the fact that black women are 8 to 10 times more likely to die during childbirth or as a cause of childbirth if you are not able to be specific? It was funny this weekend. I was watching I believe that this month is AAPI month. I believe it's Pride Month, and it is also Asian American Pacific Islanders month. And Riis, I was watching a special on Channel 7 after my boy Joe Osteen, and it was about the history of the Asian American community in America. And there were two components of it that jumped out to me. The first one was the rise of Korean Americans as a cultural force in America. And they talked about it in perspective to the Rodney King riots, when Korean Americans defended and protected their neighborhoods and said that they would not be respected. And that was the turning point for the Korean American community. The other thing that jumped out to me was that the Pacific Islander community said that they did not want to be included in the AAPI. Like, they said that they felt like they had worked for all of their history and existence worked in for all of their history and existence, Riis, to define themselves and then to be thrown into a category. They said that they had their own clearly defined culture that was not aligned with being considered Asian American, but that they were forced, and they were basically saying, we have our own identity within this thing called America, and we don't all see it the same way. I'm going to read this letter to you. We witnessed the recent public discussion of anti-Semitism on your spouse's talk show. While we were heartened to see that the apologies were issued, we feel compelled to raise similar and related concerns about Mr. Jackson's history of making offensive comments about the Latino community on his show and fomenting harmful anti-Latino and anti-immigrant sentiments. As you know, there is a long and painful history of tension cultivated between African American and Latino communities in Chicago. Following in the legacy of Harold Washington era, we worked hard to build solidarity between our communities, which face so many common challenges. That is why Mr. Jackson's consistent sowing of animosity against the Latino community is so deeply troubling. Furthermore, our immigrant community, and particularly the undocumented population, came under attack in recent years under Donald Trump and ICE. Now more than ever, we need leaders of all racial and ethnic backgrounds to stand together to defend undocumented immigrants against the threat of violent attacks and oppression. Our struggles are inherently bound together, but instead, amid this crisis, Mr. Jackson has offered his show as a platform from which to lob attacks on the vulnerable Latino immigrant population, and all along, disappointingly, you have remained silent. For example, just recently on 4/27/2022, Mr. Jackson made several troubling comments in response to a recent report from the Great Cities Institute. The person leading who has data ain't us, Mr. Jackson says, 42, and they timestamp it, a reference to Carissa Cordova of the Great Cities Institute, who is Latina. He goes on to say he is coming to the realization that Latinos are going to take our stuff. They, Latinos, are hijacking the birthright using people of color analogy, said Mr. Jackson. Later, Mr. Jackson said he went to the black gym at the blackest church in Chicago, and it's all Latino. I must tell you that there was, in my conversation, I must tell you that I meant no hate towards any group. And I wonder, in the face of what happened in Buffalo, in the face of the nooses that were hung, that came from Congressman Luis Gutierrez, who's been on the show. And I promise you guys, I've never meant for the show to be a platform of hate. And I agree, and I'm 100% willing and trying to do better. I don't know that this line of, and I'm going to talk about it a little bit later, because I don't know that this line of attack from Democrats against a person who lived through, I'm not apologizing. Well, let me back up. I apologize for anything that could be perceived as hateful. But what I'm trying to get to is, what about the Mays Jackson show can be considered hateful? And I really want to do better. Right? Like, I really want to be a place where we can have tough conversations and talk about the reality of what's happening in our community. It's tough for me to read a letter like that knowing what just happened in Buffalo. It's tough knowing what just happened in what's happened in Evanston. And in my effort to do better, I want to know how we can make sure that other marginalized communities understand what's happening in the black community. Give us a call, 872-259-7474. What's up, caller?
You
Caller?
talking to me?
Go ahead, caller.
You talking to me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, well, look it. If I were you, I wouldn't worry about those attacks. I don't know if you spend time on Facebook, but this is a tactic that the people who don't want to talk about race, if you bring it up, they're going to call you the racist and the hate monger. Now, and there's a lot of things with your terrorists, you consider the source. I ain't that crazy about Louis. I've known him a long time. So him saying that doesn't mean too much. You're pointing out what's happening in the community, and if somebody is offended by you pointing it out, that's just too bad. It's like you say you had this conversation with people who said one person said something you blame them on. But the thing is, those that didn't speak up are acquiescent with it as far as I'm concerned. You know, I mean, don't sit up there and say it ain't all of us. When you sit there and you won't speak up, speak out against the people who are speaking out against us.
Thank you.
They ally themselves with other people for their advantage. They don't have. They say black and brown, but they're not uniting with us. They're uniting with other people, and they get offended when it's pointed out. So don't worry about what they're saying. You keep on doing what you're doing, kid.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate you. It's the Mays Jackson Show. Give us a call, 872-259-7474. Hateful. Riis, I don't plan or intend for us ever to be a hateful outlet. When we started this, we said this was the place where we have the uncomfortable conversations where we're not politically correct. But I hope that our allies would not resort to the tactics of race baiting in an election season, because I do think it has lasting effects. I do feel like I also want to say, like, I feel like, Riis, anybody that would like the opportunity to talk to our audience, to come to say anything against to talk about what I talk about, I really would like an open forum. Like, I would like to have as many conversations with people who disagree with me, to be able to have the opportunity to have the conversations. How do we get to the truth if we're not willing to have honest discussions and allow people to share perspectives that are not from ours? I gotta be honest, it's tough for the gentleman who can call me to get on the show when he wants to talk about trying to run for mayor, and then in a politically expedient time, instead of picking up the phone, doing a press release. Riis, we done kicked it in the hotel. We done been to the bar. We done been to the restaurant. We done been to all the places with the congressman. We done been out the country. I'm saying, family, when you called and said you wanted to be on the show to talk about when you were planning on, I let you come on. And I really think it's unfortunate. Guys, I will take responsibility for whatever I do or say. 100%. But I do think it is a little bit I have a like when I'm right here to be spoken to. Give us a call, 872-259-7474. It's like, sir, I'm always happy to have open debate and dialogue with anybody, whether our opinions agree or disagree. The show is an open forum and a platform for people with opposing viewpoints to share. It is tough for me as a man, and I recognize that because I chose to wear the flag, excited about my significant other, my wife, I may have jumped off the porch. It is unfortunate to me that men have the opportunity to address me as a man and yet instead choose to hurl insults at a woman. Just a call, 872-259-7474. And it is just a bit challenging in a time when race and health are at the forefront, that these attacks are internal. I'm going to go to the calls and I'm going to take a quick break. Caller, you on the Mace Jackson Show. Caller?
Hello, Mace. How are you?
All right, what's up, Anthony? How you feeling, man?
I'm good, man, but let me say this before I go on a diatribe. Don't you dare start feeling sorry for people that don't feel sorry for us. Okay? You know, they're gonna try to soften your position on some of these things, but these are issues, man. These are issues. They're still trying to assimilate European behavior and taking instructions from them to hate us. Okay? We've done nothing to them. Nothing. Okay?
Anthony,
we discussed.
Can I tell you something, Anthony?
Go ahead.
It's tough for me to listen, to hear, to see things like that, knowing what happened 2 years ago, right? When the bridges went up and people were getting.
To go to the grocery store. Yes. Ain't nobody feeling sorry for us. And if they can make you feel sorry, you know, that you said something that would have offended one of them, man, that you should hear what they had to say about us. They taking instructions from Europeans. They still trying to assimilate Europeans, man. And Europeans, you're doing better than them black folks, you know, so take pride in that, you know. So, no. And I know some Latin folks and Latino, Latinx people that are pretty good people, don't get me wrong. But as a group, when they get together, they just as bad as white folks when they come to us, man.
Thank you, Anthony. I appreciate that call. I just want to make sure that we're clear, right? Like, the show has always had an open door policy. It has never been about us just having to agree. Now, it has never been about hate. You have never heard me call someone a slur. I stop people from any of that, right? And because I want to do better, I want to understand what can we do to not be perceived as hateful by other groups while still telling our truth and our reality. Look, y'all, it's the Mace Jackson Show. When we come back, we're going to talk about should Illinois publish the race and ethnicity of abortion recipients. I want to talk about it when we come back, only because I feel like I was calling Felicia Blakely to try and get a woman to come talk. And if there are any ladies that would like to call in and talk about it, I would love to hear your perspective. And I asked ladies to call in. But should they publish the race and ethnicity of abortion recipients? It's something that Illinois strictly prohibited years ago, but now is considering as we become one of the places that people will come to. Look, y'all, it's the Mace Jackson Show. We'll be back after these messages.
The Mace Jackson Show will be back after this break.
WIIFTBP, media's just for you and me. WIIFTBP, media's just for you and me.
Jackson.
Uh-oh, what's in it for the black people?
I want to know, is there an offensive black people list? Who manages it, and do black people have to honor it?
You're Uncle Tom. That's why you're an offensive. And the reason why you're Uncle Tom is the real story of Uncle Tom. How he worked for his freedom, and then the slave master reneged on him and wouldn't let him get his freedom. So you know what he did? He left. You're messing with the church's money. You were smart enough to work your way off, so you offended the white folks, and then you offended the black folks because your ass left, and because they wouldn't. And who manages the left? It's both black folks and white folks, because if you see in that situation, the black folks is just as mad as the white slave owner that Uncle Tom left.
What happens if you say that and someone gets offended?
You ran off the plantation, brother. That's why you're offensive. That's all I got, bro. Keep being offensive.
Thank you.
Mace Jackson.
I love being black. Do you love being black? Yeah, I love being black. Hey. I do this for my people all across the globe.
The skin I'm in fit me fine, tailor-made, yeah, I'm comfortable. And so it seems I'm still chasing my dreams. They told me, watch my steps, they want to pull the rug from under you. This is transparency, my life 3D. You live every word that I utter, reporting live from the gutter. Where the mind's hard to change, but we don't give up on our brothers and sisters. Cause we all need one another. The time's getting closer, revolution, feel it coming. I can smell it in the air. Inhale it, let it embody you. Because chances are the cops pull you over, they body you. Plus we don't trust each other, so there's just another obstacle. Why jump hurdles to make a change? It ain't optional. Olympian mindset in this booth with my binoculars. I see my vision getting clear. Justice what a prophet do. My music touch the people's soul. Black power gospel tune. So many styles watch me kicking like they soccer moves. Falling rank and file, this is my platoon. Soldiers at attention, ain't no Willie lynching. This the program. Who they think they kidding? Reinvent the system. Total reconstruction of our mental stigma. This ain't a game, boy. Still they think I'm talking about Nintendo. That's a shame, boy. Augment reality. Better fix your brain, boy. I love my people, hope they love me black. I'm going hard and ain't no holding back. Watch me react. I put my fist up in the skies like a beacon for believers that one day we return to our greatest sin. We seek it all the glory we can obtain and keep reaching. I'm painting this picture, I hope you see it. Guess what the theme is? I love being black. We turning up. I love being black. Say it loud, man. I love being black. One more time. I love being black. Hey. Well, how about you to sing these tunes too? Customize for you a little something you can groove to. Feeling good about yourself. Melanated, mood muse. Always service humble pie. We don't care about who's who. Light brown or dark skin. for you too. We are the gods of the earth, living proof. Truth, say it loud if you black and proud. I salute you and that's a fact. Where you at? Let me hear you say it back. I love being black. We turning up. I love being black. Say it loud, man. I love being black. One more time. I love being black. Hey. Super melanation, renovation of our databases. Gotta fix the trinity to make it past the mason. There's a rabbit in the hole. No decision, you gon' chase it or just shut up for complacency. Here's the motivation. Black power in your veins. Up to us to build a nation. European mental detox. Completely we erase it. Cause you can't keep fighting over old information. Right, bring it right back. If you love being black, I love being black. We turning up. I love being black.
Back to the Mays Jackson Show. You are listening to the most dangerous show. This is What's in It for the Black People Radio. Mays Jackson. Mays Jackson, the most vociferous advocate for black people in the world.
People, cause economically we are not equal. Waking up to life, can't dose no more. I told y'all, yeah, this a dangerous show. Don't go to church if you ain't trying to help us. Don't even try to be around and can't protect us. We see the lies, not other politicians. We need money and no symbolism. It's Mays and Riis and Ruthie and Ty, explaining how we all come from God, giving us tools to beat the odds. If we united, our movement gon' stop. If they ain't tryna help us, they ain't tryna do nothing. We gotta do something, we gotta stop running. It's time to confront the problem. Really, you expect you oppressed to solve.
Chicago, good afternoon, world. This is the Mays Jackson Show. I'm your host, Mays Jackson. I was planning on talking about the abortion issue, but I am trying to get Planned Parenthood on the line because I want to talk about it and I want to get some women's perspectives on this issue because they are talking about releasing the race and ethnicity of the abortion recipients. That's something that they had never done in the past, but now are considering. And I would love to just hear from them. I'm not here to fight or go back and forth. I really just like to hear it because to me, I'm concerned. When I read the article, I realized that there was two perspectives of it. The first thing I saw, hold on, let me see if Ruthie is working it, was that they were going to use it as a political tactic. But I also know that when I talked to Felicia Davis Blakely last time, she told me a lot more perspective that I didn't look at. So I'd love to get somebody from Planned Parenthood on to actually have the conversation. All right, in the meantime, what I'm going to do is I am going to talk about the fact that it seems like anybody can get it. I got two stories to tell you this week from this weekend. The first story was I'm sad that I was happy the way it turned out. I don't know if you all saw, but former police superintendent Terry Hillard was shot with a paintball gun in his front yard. Now, Riis, I know y'all be like F12, but I don't think anybody necessarily knew that he was a police officer because he ain't been in office since 2011, right? I mean, he's an older man, gentleman, working in his yard, and somebody pulled a drive-by on him with a paintball gun. Now, I'm grateful that it was just a paintball gun. But, Riis, I gotta tell you, I feel a certain way about the fact that somebody would ride by and shoot an old person even with a paintball gun. Like, I get it, but I don't. So it's like I'm grateful. Like, have you ever been shot with a paintball gun? Because them bad boys hurt.
Nah.
You never been shot with a paintball gun? Oh, Joe. Oh, it ain't nothing nice. That's why. Oh, it ain't like Riis. It ain't like you just stand there and this. Like, if you get shot with a paintball gun, you're going to feel it. Yes. Well, Star, what's going on with you? Ain't nobody jumping on you, are they? Riis. So you get shot with a paintball gun, it's leaving, like, depending on how close, it's leaving a welt. Like, you gotta wear long sleeves, padded. Like, I wear stuff when I go paintballing. And I wear a helmet because I be going for headshots. Like, right? What possesses you to shoot a 70-year-old person with a paintball gun? Like, did somebody think it was funny? Because apparently he was somebody probably thought it was funny. But Riis, he's a senior citizen. Like an old looking senior citizen. I'm not dissing him. But he got the gray hair. You know how the old man be having the gray hair with the fuzzy gray mustache, and you know, stay off my lawn. Shout out to him too, because he had, when they showed it on the news, they had a carry steel sign. But Riis, that bothered me. Because I was thinking to myself, I look like kind of like I think I'm fresh, but I don't want to be in my front yard trying to pick up the paper, trying to keep my neighborhood clean, trying to keep these knuckleheads off my grass, and somebody's got the nerve to shoot me with a paintball gun. Then I got another story. So I saw this thing floating around on Facebook. On Instagram. And I'm going to read it to you. Because it just shows how close this stuff is getting to us. Dang, not my phone won't act up. Boop. No, that ain't it. Boom. All right. Check this out. A person was wounded in a shooting Sunday night on the Dan Ryan Expressway at 71st Street, according to state police. Troopers responded to the shooting and found a person shot on the inbound lanes about 10:45, state police said. The person was taken to an area hospital and injuries were not considered life-threatening, officials said. No other information was immediately available. State police asked anyone who has witnessed the shooting or has knowledge of the incident. So I had seen that story floating around, and I've been nervous about driving on the Dan Ryan. And when I saw that, I got a text from my daughter who said, "Dad, oh my God, that was me. I was on the Dan Ryan Expressway when I looked over to my right and saw a guy with a gun barrel sticking out of the window. And he was about to fire, and it looked like he saw Jersey in the back seat and let me get by. And as soon as I got to 67th, I heard it and heard everything happen behind me." And I was thinking, Riis, anybody could get it. Like, she was so panicky and so like, oh my God, and she wants to leave Chicago. Right? She was like, "Dad, I either got to move from where I'm at." Now, I believe she lives in a nice neighborhood. But she like, "I either got to move where I live and I want to move to Aurora." I was like, oh my God, you ain't been talking to Riis, have you? But I was thinking, Riis, in this city at this point, anybody can get it. And I was thinking about my beautiful granddaughter coming home, and imagine being on the express. Like, we are now at the point where people are having straight shootouts on the expressway. Like, Riis, it is nothing now to look at the expressway and be like, oh, they had another expressway shooting. And I was thinking about the opposite sides of that. Think about when the old people aren't safe, but they can't leave. And the young people who are mobile are trying to get out. It doesn't leave a good scenario for us. And I do really want to know. I'm going to say I'm grateful that somewhere in that gentleman's mind, heart, he saw a child and pulled up. But dang, Riis, I was really thinking like Milan was like, oh my God, this happened to me. And I just can't even imagine what that must feel like. Is there anywhere that's safe? Like, where is the safe black neighborhood? Like, where? Chatham, and think about that, man. That block, that's like a power block. It's judges and all type of people over there. Like, and if the places where even our most successful go, think about Superintendent Hilliard was in his own neighborhood. So what you think the young people gonna do? Where they supposed to go? Riis, 42 and, what did I say, 42 and 9? Was that good to you or no?
48 and 9.
48 and 9? Do you feel like, I felt like, do you think that was, like, what makes a successful Memorial Day week? I mean, only 9 people dead after 3-day weekend? 3 a day?
0 and 0 gonna be good one day.
We ain't never having a 0-0 day.
I'll take a 9 and 1 then. That's a
9 and 1. Oh, you said 9 and 1.
9 shot, 1 dead.
Do you think it's possible in Chicago to have a day without a shooting?
Yeah, when it's cold. Yeah.
Have we ever seen a day in Chicago without a shooting?
I'm for sure when it's cold it has. I'm for sure.
The polar vortex, I bet somebody got shot. I mean, Juicy Smouye got robbed.
Yeah, so I'm glad you said that. I'm glad you know that he got robbed. He was not set up. I'm glad. Thank you for finally admitting to this.
Oh my God. No. Juicy Smouye. All right, so let me ask a question. Do you think that in today's Chicago that there is a safe neighborhood for black people? Or relatively, what's the safest black neighborhood in Chicago? Is it on the south side or the west side?
Oh no, I just believe if it ain't your own, then you ain't safe in it.
Right, but I'm saying if you are moving somewhere, if you had to move to the safest neighborhood in Chicago, black neighborhood, it can't be Beverly.
Chicago or Chicagoland.
Chicago. Where in Chicago could you move black? Is there a black north side enclave?
I don't know no place in Chicago that's black.
Is everything okay with the audio? All right, let's see what we got. Is that better? All right, anyway, Riis, I'm trying to... Did I hit somebody in here? I'm really trying to figure out so Erica says she likes living in South Shore. Where in the South Shore? Where is the safest neighborhood for black people in Chicago? Where you'll let if your son wanted to go out front and play, and just let him out, he could ride his bike up and down the block.
I can't name one place.
You can't name one place
in Chicago that's safe?
Where would you let your children go ride their bikes unsupervised? Like, I mean, I can't say. I mean, I think there's people that like like at what age could you go out and play by yourself, Riis?
It's a different time, man. I was going outside at like 5 years.
Right, me too. I could go to the store at 5.
Different time, so.
What age do kids get to go outside and play by themselves? Like, do you let your son, like if your son said, Dad, I'm going outside, like in high school, where you going?
Yeah, that's cool. I mean, like I did ask him where he was going, but yeah, that's cool.
Okay, let me see. So, Jeffrey Manor, 49th and Champlain.
Did somebody say the Manor?
Hey, man, I feel, so you know what I feel like?
I feel safe at 63rd then.
I feel like that. Some people feel safe at 64th and 65th. I do feel like people, though, if you know the people in your neighborhood, you do feel safe.
Yeah, for sure.
Right?
For sure,
But
yeah.
I'm saying, like, where could you move? The people will welcome you, and you will be safe. And they'll be like, welcome, have a good time. Todd said nowhere. Todd, ain't nobody talking to you.
I'm with you, too. Nowhere. I don't think it's nowhere. The suburb, that's about it.
Calumet Heights, Pill Hill.
I need me some Homewood, Flossmoor type area.
You know what? I'm telling you. Oh, speaking of that, Aunt Neil. Get ready. Because nephew is about to be out of school. But I guess, like, that's my point. Like, where can you... Okay. I want to say, like, a normal childhood. Where could someone have a normal childhood where they could go outside and have a good time and go out and not be tripping? All right, look, it's the Maze Jackson Show. We're going to come back. When we come back, I'm going to talk about this a little bit more. Is your hood safe? There's nowhere where it's safe. Pill Hill turned Drill Hill. Dang, y'all tripping. Like, I remember I told you I used to want to live in Chatham. Like, I was like, I will have arrived if I live in Chatham. Where's Washington Heights? I don't even know where Washington Heights is. All right, give us a call, 872-259-7474. What's the best black neighborhood in Chicago? We'll talk about it when we come back. Plus, I want to talk about the issue of abortion. They have, up until now, they've never released the race and ethnicity of abortion recipients. But now Illinois is considering a rule change, considering where we will sit, considering the upcoming changes potentially in the Supreme Court. We're going to talk about that, and hopefully we'll get somebody from Planned Parenthood to join us in this conversation. Ladies, please join us as well. This is a serious conversation that I would like to have when we come back.
The Maze Jackson Show will be back after this break.
Introducing your trusted source for high-quality black emojis, better known as Blackmoji. We believe black is beautiful, and that beauty should be reflected in the digital market. Now there is an app that does just that, starting with Black Greek letter organizations. Blackmoji D9 offers more than an emoji app. It is a cultural experience of black excellence. Download the app in the Apple or Google Play Store to access a specially curated catalog of emojis representing the Divine Nine. Use the emojis to celebrate Black Greek events, acknowledge current events, support social causes, and learn about esteemed Black Greek members who blaze the trail of Black history. A portion of every subscription goes toward a scholarship fund specifically for members of Black Greek letter organizations to help keep the legacy alive. Download the Blackmoji app today.
Why money ain't free? Why can't you just give it to me? I don't want to work for nobody. I'd rather keep doing me. Why money ain't free? Why can't you just give it to me? I don't want to work for nobody. I'd rather keep doing me. Why money ain't free? Up in the morning with the frown on my face, cause I know it's another day that I gotta face now. For people I don't wanna see, working at a job that I don't wanna be, breaking my back to the bone with nothing to show. But I got dreams and goals, but as soon as I clock can't you just give it to me? Give it to me. I don't wanna work for nobody. I'd rather keep doing me. Why can't you just give it to me? I don't wanna work for nobody. I'd rather keep doing me. Why money ain't free?
Working in that 9 to 5, got your girl hella tired. Why won't they let me be? Now I understand why my mama always used to ask. Did I think money grew on trees? I got these bills after bills and they just keep coming. Working overtime but my pockets ain't flooding. Yeah, my funds low. Adult life is scarce.
Why money ain't free?
Why it ain't free?
Why can't you just give it to
Why
me?
can't they just give it to
I
me?
don't wanna work for nobody. I'd rather keep doing me. Why money ain't free?
You are listening to the Maze Jackson Show. I am your host, Maze Jackson, and we are going to have a you know what I want to get on here, Riis? A vasectomy doctor. I want to get a doctor to come on and talk about vasectomies because we often talk about female birth control. So I want to talk about male birth control too, what the options are. But today, and ladies, I do want your opinion on this. I read a story in the paper that said that the Illinois Department of Public Health was planning on potentially utilizing race and ethnicity data regarding who gets abortions. And Riis, I immediately, you know what I thought, right? As soon as I heard that, right? I said, dagnabbit. The Illinois Department, now they want to utilize the Illinois Department of Public, they want to use race and ethnicity about abortions because they want to use it as a political issue. But now in my new enlightened state, where I'm doing better, I decided that I wanted to take the helicopter up, and I wanted to, before I said, I knew they was just going to be trying to use black women to get in front of the issue to save the Democratic Party again. I read a little bit more into the article, and they said that for years, race and ethnicity data was strictly kept out of the conversation or out of the information, and that over time, the laws that were in place that prevented them from giving that data were no longer in place. And so the Illinois Department of Public Health is now considering sharing the data on race and ethnicity of abortion recipients. Now, Riis, immediately, I went to the Maze Jackson nefarious point of view, which is Democrats are hoping to utilize race and ethnicity to be able to position black women at the front of the abortion rights debate, and thus using it as an opportunity to turn out black women who would be less than motivated to vote in this upcoming midterm because Joe Biden has not delivered on the promises. Riis, that is where I would have started if I had not become more enlightened by Felicia in our discussions with women, and I had not decided that I was going to try and do better and not always just go to the nefarious standpoint. But I could not help the thought that they wanted to now utilize the race and ethnicity data to be able to push the abortion issue as an issue of race and class, because, Riis, quite frankly, I do believe that if the Supreme Court sets a precedent for states' rights, that there are other issues that will impact black people. But I also think it's always left to the black people to save the party, to come through, to be like, you know, when it be like the most important of our election, most important election of our lives, that this, like, I do feel like this whole states' rights issue is going to be a thing. But I did also feel like Democrats needed to get black people, particularly black women, whipped up and riled up. And the best way to do it was to use this issue. And then I read further into the article, and it said that they wanted to make the data public. Why, Riis? To lobby for who needs what. So I assume that if I was to talk to Planned Parenthood, who we're trying to get on the line, they said they can't come today. Or if we were to talk to someone like Felicia, they would tell me, Mays, that it is important for us to release the race and ethnicity of abortion recipients so that we can make sure that women get the proper funding and the proper health care that they need. You see how I learned a little bit in that? Right? So at first, my first instinct was they want to tell us that they want to release the race and ethnicity data because they could then use this as an issue to prod black people to the vote, to the polls, because black women have the most challenges with women healthcare issues. Am I saying that properly? Right? And so, and because I've learned in our conversation that Planned Parenthood funding and where their resources go is not only for abortions, but for women's health services that are often not in place in inner city neighborhoods, I could actually understand why they might want to release the race and ethnicity. But my question is, can they use it for both? Right? Can there be a simultaneous use? i.e., they want to raise the profile of the need for women's health care in black communities, which is why they want to release the information, because there may be an affinity towards black women who may have had to rely on places like Planned Parenthood. So it's almost like a political win-win for the party. Does that make sense? Am I saying that properly? So my thought is, as a political guy, is that they want to release the race and ethnicity because they want to inspire black women to turn out. And simultaneously utilize the states' rights issue. Riis, can I tell you, I was watching The View yesterday, and Whoopi Goldberg said that she was worried that states' rights was going to mean we could potentially go back. Yeah. And so she was like, I don't want to be less of a citizen like it is in the Constitution already if they go to being strict constitutionalists. So the premise becomes, Riis, do you think, and women, do you think that race and ethnicity matters in women's health care issues? Or is this debate purely about women? Like, I feel like our job is to support where the women say they want to be on this issue. Does race and ethnicity matter in the fight for abortion rights and women's health care? And how is that voice being heard in the debate? Give us a call, 872-259-7474. The lady's scared. They don't want us to talk about it, Riis. Because
it's a touchy subject.
I agree. It's a very touchy subject, and that's why I think it's important. Because I guess my concern is that now that I've realized how serious of an issue it is, I don't know. Should they use it as a political issue to motivate women to vote? Right? Like, I guess like before women's health care, is that fair game politically? And should race and ethnicity be a tool that Democrats use to motivate Black and Latino women to come out to vote because of this issue? Or is that a wrong thing to do? I guess Black women have the most to benefit from women's health care because we have the least. Or the Black women have the least. But will that data be used to help Black women? Will it bring more resources to Black communities for women health care issues? I don't know. Give us a call, 872-259-7474. 872-259-7474. The women's health care issue, race and ethnicity, does it matter? And will releasing that information bring more resources to our community? It's a question that I'm not too sure that I am clear about. That's why I'm gonna I'm gonna try and get Planned Parenthood on here so they could explain it to me, because I do feel like this is an opportunity, another reason to whip up the saviors of the Democratic Party, which are oftentimes Black women. All right, Riis, I want to do this. I want to take a quick break. And then when we come back, you can go ahead. When we come back, we're going to jump into a couple other topics. And then at 5 o'clock, I want to ask, how important is the Black vote to Democrats? How important is the Black vote to Democrats? Give us a call, 872-259-7474. We'll be back after these messages.
The Mays Jackson Show will be back after this break. Mays Jackson.
What's up, Chicago? This is your man, Mays Jackson, host of the Mays Jackson Show. You hear me every single day ask the question, what's in it for the Black people? Well, finally, y'all, we've got an answer, and it's called the Black People First Party. Meet us every Saturday from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. at TP, located at 5401 South Wentworth, Unit 17E. That's in the mall at the 55th and the Dan Ryan. And you join us every Saturday where we are taking our politics black. We'll teach you everything you need to know about the game, from how to collect a petition, to how to knock on a door, to even how to become the next mayor of the city of Chicago. That's right, y'all. It is the Black People First Party. Meet us every Saturday, 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. at TP, located at 5401 South Wentworth in the mall at 55th and the Dan Ryan. And if you don't like it, you can still tell them Mays said. This is a Black people thing you wouldn't even understand.
Mays Jackson.
I don't know what you did, but you did it right. Girl, you make it look so easy. Everywhere you go, heads turning left and right. Can't say you a dime, you're a 20 piece. Cause girl, you're all the reason I be acting funny. Everything in me telling me don't let you get away. And all the guys looking like they wanna love you. Every day I'm your body, got none over my dead body. Why you gotta look so good? Why you gotta look so good? Why you gotta look so good? With your hair done, nail done, when you put that clothes on, why you gotta look so good, good. With your hair done, nail done, when you put that clothes on, why you gotta look so good? I can look and see you're not an average chick. You're shutting it down everywhere you go. Girl, I want you as bad as I want a check. Cause you're sexy from head to toe. Girl, you're the reason I be acting funny. Everything in me telling me all that you get away. And all the guys looking like they wanna love you. Every day I'm your body, got out over my dead body. Why you gotta look so good? Why you gotta look so good? Why you gotta look so good? With your hair done, nails done, when you put your clothes on. It's something about you when you put your clothes on. Oh, when you're waking up straight out of bed, girl, why you gotta look so good? Oh, when you're at the job just taking a break, girl, why you gotta look so good? In the club turning up, why you gotta look so good? On the dance floor, giving more. Why you gotta look so good? Why you gotta look so good? Why you gotta look so good? Girl, you know you be killing them when you be getting your own woman. Why you gotta look so good?
You are listening to the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Will black women come to the rescue of the party once again? I do think that Democrats have a real issue that is going to motivate women to vote. I wonder how much will this issue motivate black women to turn out? How important is the women's health care issue to black women that will be voting? And is it enough to make women turn out? Give us a call, 872-259-7474. Caller, you on the Maze Jackson Show. Caller, you there?
Hi.
Hey, Cassandra.
Hello.
Hello? Oh, this is not Cassandra.
No, this is Katie.
Hey, Katie. Oh, my fault, Madam President. My fault, Madam President. What's up, Madam President? Katie in the phone club. I seen you. Hey, let me tell y'all. Did y'all see? I saw Katie last week. She had her hair flat in the mud. She had it all whipped up and everything. She was going on a hot date.
Yeah. You know, I need some hot dates out there. A senior hot girl summer.
Ooh, senior hot girl summer. Don't y'all be out there Megan Thee Stallion. Riis, they gonna have a pool party. We gonna rent them a mansion. Katie gonna have a hot girl, the senior hot girl summer pool party. What's going on, Katie? How you feeling, sister?
Oh, I'm feeling great. Oh God, stubbed my toe. I'm feeling great. Thank you. You know, anything and everything that has to do with information about what's going on with black women and women in general in the United States and in the world is very important to me. And I'm sure it's very important to all women. As far as using this information to get black women to vote more, is that what you're saying?
Mm-hmm. Do you think that this issue is enough to make black women turn out more? Are you motivated during this election cycle because of these women's health care issues?
Yep. Well, I'm always motivated. But when we have more information and let people know what's going on, I think that will help. I mean, if we know how if black women know how we are affected by this abortion stuff that they want to do, and want to know how many black women have abortions, and what is the percentage in that with the rest of the population, and how our health is being treated, and what percentage of that with the rest of the population. You know, it's information that we need to know. I want to know as much as they have because it's a lot of stuff that they keep hidden from us. Okay. They had this black woman I heard, and she was pregnant and she had pains, and the white doctor thought it was just nothing, and she said, no, this is something that's going on. She was 6 months pregnant, and she had appendicitis. So when she went to a black woman doctor, the doctor said, "Oh, well, you're pointing to something that is different. This is your appendix." So they did an emergency appendectomy and saved her life. So I'm in medicine, pharmacist, retired pharmacist, and so these things are very important to us. We need to know the figures and everything because if black women are having more abortions and stuff, we need to know so that we could help change what's going on. Why is this, and what can we do to help?
Okay.
More services, more, money, and jobs, and just everything. But we need the facts. We need the facts. So yeah, it will sway the vote. I think it will. If the facts are presented, more black women will come out and vote.
Okay. Let me ask a question, Katie.
How about it?
Hold on, real quick.
Yeah.
Do women vote for women because they're women?
I don't.
Okay.
I don't, because nowadays, I mean, they think that, the women could save the world. Well, not really. I mean, some of these women, some of these people women out here, they are, they might not be good for the community as well as the men are not good for the community. So I don't vote for a person just because they are a woman. No, I don't do that.
Okay.
It depends on their what their past has been, what they have done for the community in the past, what their record is. I vote on the record.
Okay. That's what I'm talking about. That's because you the president of the Southwest chapter, a co-chair of the Southwest chapter of Black People First. All right, y'all, it's the Maze Jackson Show. Anybody else on that line? Caller, are you on the Maze Jackson Show? Will the issue of women's health be a motivator for black women to turn out and vote this election?
Hello?
Hello?
Yeah, hi, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay. The black vote is important to keep the liberal content going. So they're going to rubber stamp whatever they choose that they feel is deemed important. I'll give you a prime example. It's 42, I think roughly 42 million black people in America. The Black Caucus in Congress rubber stamped $40 billion for Ukraine. They had the power to, at a minimum, put $42 million for reparations, and that's the short chain. That's a modest number. But since they know how important that black vote is, as you see, they'll rubber stamp with the liberal con that they do for years, and this is another issue that they're going to, run, don't using the health care. No matter you killing all our babies. Ignore all that. But, it's just, they're good at it. And that's why the black vote is important.
Okay. Thank you, caller. I hear you on that one. Let's do this. Let's take a quick. Well, hold on. Anybody else on the line? All right. This is the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Check us out every day, Monday through Friday, 3 to 6. Actually, Riis, I'm taking a break though. Next week we coming back on Monday at 6 to 9 until the end of the year. I mean, until the end of June, because I got some business to handle, some business. Then we're gonna take a break, and then we're gonna take us a vacation. We're going to go worldwide. We're going to come back. We're going to be back in this bad boy 3 to 6. Get everybody ready. This is the Maze Jackson Show, though. Hey, I know we're supposed to be I want to have a serious conversation when we come back. I want to talk about how important is the black vote to the Democratic Party. I want you to stop and think about that. And I want to have a frank conversation about how important is the black vote to the Democratic Party. I'm a start. I know that it's a broad topic, but I'm gonna bring it real close to home because I think I've noticed some very interesting correlations between the renewed attention on the Mays Jackson show and the Democratic Party. And I really Riis, I was just thinking, why is it that anyone cares about what this little old show does? Why now does anyone care about this little old guy in this little old show? And I want to ask you, how important is the black vote to the Democratic Party? I want to talk about it when we come back after these messages. Yes, this is the Mays Jackson Show, and we'll be back.
The Mays Jackson Show. We'll be back after this break.
Yeah, Ruthie Mo, Reach the ruler, Mays Jackson. This is the Reparations interlude. We not asking, we demanding. So go on, make my payments high. Tell the government to cut them reparations, make them high. Not no SBA loans, just run the bread, make it high. Tell the government to cut them reparations, make them high. Look, hey, check it out. First drug lord was President Nixon. Oval Office was the trap house where he was tipping. Got the drugs from Nicaragua and gave us crack. Declared war on blacks. Man, tell him to cut the check and try to make it seem like a revolution. CIA was the corner boys for distribution. We could tear this country in half for retribution. But I'd rather get some restitution, so tell him to cut the check. John Singleton, man, he already told y'all. He broke it down for you when he made Snowfall. They locked us all up and created whole laws. So send a message like a cold call. Tell them to cut the check. Look, we built this city. We built this city. Back, put this country together and gave them hella aid. A lot of blood, sweat, and tears. Over 400 years. Been punching the clock, but yeah, we still ain't got paid. Look, they paying the immigrants. They pay the Jews. Executive orders, man, they made the rules. I want my 40 acres, you can save the mule. Cause as of right now, we getting played for the fool. Look, for sterilization, Tuskegee experiment, Rosewood, Japanese internment. Come on, was all paid out from the government. We waiting on our turn, we definitely earned it. So make my payment high. Tell the government to cut them reparations, make them high. Not no SBA loans, just run the bread, make it high. Tell the government to cut them reparations, make them high. Not no stimulus checks, just run the bread, make it high. Yeah, Ruthie Mo, Reach the ruler, Mays Jackson. This is the Reparations interlude. We not asking, we demanding.
Well, sometimes I go out by myself and I look across the water, and I think of all the things what you're doing, and in my head I paint a picture. Since I've come home, well, my body's been a mess, and I miss your ginger hair and the way you like to dress. Won't you come on over? Stop making a fool out of me. Why don't you come on over, Did you have to go to jail? Put your house on up for sale? Did you get a good lawyer? I hope you didn't catch a tan. I hope you find the right man who'll fix it for you. And are you shopping anywhere? Change the color of your hair. Are you busy? And did you have to pay that fine that you've been dodging all the time? Are you still dizzy? Oh, yeah. Since I've come home, well, my body's been a mess, and I miss your ginger hair and the way you like to dress. Won't you come on over? Oh, stop making a fool out of me. Why don't you come on over there? Well, sometimes I go out by myself and I look across the water, and I think of all the things what you're doing. In my head I paint a picture. Since I've come home, well, my body's been a mess, and I miss your ginger hair and the way you like to dress. Won't you come on over? Stop making a fool out of me. Why don't you come on over there?
Back to the Mays Jackson Show. You are listening to the most dangerous show. This is What's in It for the Black People Radio. Mays Jackson. Mays Jackson, the most vociferous advocate for black people in the world.
For Ruthie Moore, for Ty Stroger, I am the host of the Mays Jackson Show, asking every single day, what's in it for the black people? And if you don't like it, you can still tell them Mays said, Mayor Lightfoot, man, we ain't accepting that. We ain't accepting that. Let's go.
Yeah. Let's get down to business and go ahead and address the facts, man. Lightfoot seems more lesbian than black. Rahm Emanuel's another case. He was just as tired. 50 closed schools left much to be desired. Police had Anjanette naked on that body cam. They suppressed the footage so it couldn't touch a lot of hands. Reminds me of that 16 shots in that cover up. Both of them similar, so I went and dug it up. George Floyd killed, a lot of riots happened in the town. Southside burned and they wouldn't let them bridges down. Grandmother sick, need a prescription and plus a couple groceries. You gon' have to travel just to get it now. COVID-19 out here shutting all the business down. Not enough SBA loans to even give around. So many failed businesses that you can put them in the pile. If you don't survive the pandemic, it's gonna sit you down. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System that milked us so bad, we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System that milked us so bad, we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks. Shout out to Willie Wilson, hope one day you get to send it. We need some different players in the game to handle business. Too many shady characters like Madigan and Blotto. But when you really break it down, it's typical Chicago. City full of gangsters, it's what the land was built on. Same streets with hood legends, DNA gets spilled on. Carjackers out here lurking, trying to get they steal on. Looking for a block to put them Hellcat wheels on. Let us give bogus appraisals a red line. Car crackers out here getting minimal fair time. And I'm concealed carry, I stay with the pipe. But Illinois gun laws giving minimal rights. Stay up on the swivel, make sure I'm moving tight. Check all of my mirrors when I pull up to the light. Pick my homie up from out of town, man, he caught a flight. He was hella nervous, told him, shorty, this is a way of life. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System that milked us so bad, we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System that milked us so bad, we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks.
Good afternoon, Chicago. Good afternoon, world. This is the Mays Jackson Show. I am your host, Mays Jackson. And I am here to talk some serious business. I want to send out a shout out to all the people that I tuned in. Shout out to my president, Tamiko Holt. Shout out to Stephanie Falasha Masigo. Shout out to Erica Burton. What up to my boy Josh in the building? What you doing at the appointment, Josh? Shout out to Devin Gordine. Shout out to Katie Lindsay. Shout out to Cassandra J. Matz. Shout out to Sharon Ugochi. Alvin E. Norton. I bet Ruthie is out there somewhere watching. She be lurking. Shout out to Marjorie L. Tatum. Shout out to Randy Span. Randy, we ain't seen you. Shout out to Mario. Mario, you got to come jump on these phones, homeboy. Shout out to John Austin. Hey, John, I appreciate you, man. We miss you, man. I know you in the mornings listening to the replays, but thanks for being with us. Thank you, Betty Ray. Shout out to Anthony D. Muhammad. Beautiful sister Karima. Shout out to the 7 Designs. What? Shout out to let me see who else out there. Patrick Creer, Zaviola Coleman, correctional officer for lockdown, man. He be snapping. The correctional officer be like, he like the boule gonna get us. He be like, boule, boule, boule. Shout out to Michelle Dowdy, Mike Burries, Veronica Maris. Let me see who else. I said Tier 7 Designs. Mario C. Jones. I got Zaviola. Aunt Tennille. Shout out to the Rego Babo, who is now an 8th grader and too cool for school. Although she'll never be too cool for school, but she probably is too cool for Uncle Mays. But Riis, I want to have a conversation. And I really do want this to be a conversation, so I do want you to open up the phone lines. I want y'all to give us a call at 872-259-7474. I want to talk about whether Democrats value our vote. How important is the black vote to the Democratic Party? And I really So Riis, over these last few weeks, so here's what I have come to recognize. I have come to recognize that although every person from Cook County Board President Tony Preckwinkle to Governor J.B. Pritzker to Luis Gutierrez, that all of the people, all of the Democrats in Cook County, most Democrats in Cook County, who have needed to fix or repair or try to build rapport with the black community, have some way reached out to this show. Even Riis, as people begin to run for mayor, there are people that have reached out to this show. And I was thinking, Riis, about why the Mays Jackson show ever gained any traction or popularity. Like, Riis, I could broadcast every day to, we see people that do shows and they broadcast to 6, 7, 8, 9 people. No shade, no disrespect. It is, no, I mean that from the standpoint that, Riis, even right now, we're operating at half tilt from what we used to do, right? It's a real experience. It's a real, but I think about why the Mays Jackson show in its current form came to fruition. And really, I want to go back in time, and I'm going to remove any ideas about race except for black people. Riis, 2 years ago in July, as the city of Chicago burned, neighborhoods were a ride. Nobody could rely on the police. Black people who were in their houses found themselves under additional random attacks. And it was only after nobody really spoke on it, with the exception of, remember Alderman Ray Lopez? That there was something happening in the streets to our people that was above and beyond what happened. What was happening as it relates to the riots. Now I want to back up and make sure that I'm clear that my comments are mine only. That no one should be held responsible. But I have to go, no one else should be responsible for the comments or my questions. But it makes me ask, how important is the black vote to Democrats? Riis, I was thinking about the fact that the Mays Jackson show, realistically at this point, is probably going to come under fire from every marginalized group. Over the course of the next few weeks. And I will take responsibility for the fact that maybe my colorful language was not the language, or could have been hurtful to other people, but yet the facts remain that black people are last in all 16 economic indicators. The fact remains that we died at the highest rates from COVID. The fact remains that black people had nooses hung as their children went to school. Riis, it is a fact that black people who live the same distance away from downtown will die quicker, have a shorter life expectancy. And I got to thinking about whether the Democratic Party even cares about the black vote. What's the matter, man? You making me... Does the Democratic Party actually care about the black vote? Riis, I gotta be honest with you. I've never meant anyone additionally outside of our community any harm. Like, I genuinely do not. I feel like every person that I talk to that has listened to the show, who then gets to know me personally, be like, oh man, you're way different than what I thought the show was. Thought you were, or whatever, right? And I think there's part of me that's a character, but there's part of me that becomes a showman when the cameras come on. But I do ponder when the issues that really are meaningful to black people are okay to talk about. See, a lot of things came to me over the last couple weeks. And I gotta tell you, Ness, they probably gonna hit us for your song. Right? There's probably going to be other groups that, as I try to express my frustration about what has happened in Black Chicago, that will have or utilize those frustrations as a tactic against us, against me, probably against one of my loved ones. And as I go through and I think about all of the conversations, and even as I thought about the conversation that the congressman highlighted, I thought to myself, who in the Democratic Party really cares about what happens to black people? Who actually cares about what we see, think, or feel? Who actually cares how we got to where we are? And does anybody else recognize that black people are drowning? And it really got me to thinking about, who cares? Do Democrats really care about the black vote? How important is it? And I think about it because it's obviously something that happens at this show Riis, remember, find my man Timon. Find the And I think back to the University of Chicago, and I think about the next generation of black leaders, I think about the conversation, and Riis, I think about who, without being against anyone, who gets to tell us what our struggle is? I was thinking about the ability of everyone to demand an apology from black people who are clearly at the bottom of the rung. And who is actually talking about, like, can I ask who is actually talking about the issues that impact the black people of Chicago and Cook County? And I gotta ask you, knowing that the black community is the base of the community, the base of the Democratic vote, I have to ask Riis, when do black issues become a priority here in Cook County? And when will someone talk about them? Riis, I want you to switch over, and I just want to recall, I want to take you all back. I'm not anti anyone. I have questions. I have comments. I have concerns. And Riis, to watch our allies come on the attack, and not even of me, but to direct those attacks towards a black woman, those tactics become difficult for me. Considering that at the same time they're going to need or want or expect black people to turn out and save the day again. Yet and still allowing and participating in the persecution of people who just want their question answered. What is the question? What's in it for the black people? Riis, remember when I was beefing with everybody? Remember when this platform was all about, man, diss them? I remember the distinct day was when somebody called up here and said to me, Mays Jackson, we don't want such and such. I said I want everybody to be rich, everybody black to do well. I said to myself, I have no more black beef with anybody. And I really don't have beef with, I don't have beef with any group. But I think about this 5-year entity, this 2-year iteration that was created because our people were under physical assault and attack. Literally. And to be in a scenario where that can be completely ignored in this conversation makes me ask, do Democrats really care about black votes? Like, Riis, can I ask who speaks? Did we see anybody acknowledge the attacks that were happening to our people? And it's Riis, there's never been a black person, as much as I whooped on the Black Caucus, Riis, what did I say? We had to all get together. As soon as I stopped focusing the platform on internal fights and beefs, and saying, black people, let us not fight each other. We're not our own enemy. Nobody has to be our enemy, but we have to protect our self-interest. Is it wrong? Do we lose if... Who stands to lose if black people stand together? And why is that a problem or an issue? Because I promise you, I've never wanted to be hateful to anybody. Can I tell you, most of the time we talk about other people, it's an admiration of how they've been able to maximize their position by the Democratic Party. Where is our leverage? When do we get to talk about the fact that George Floyd, we never got anything from George Floyd? When do we get to talk about the nooses that hung? When do we talk about what happened in Buffalo? You know, I was thinking, the desire if black people represent their own self-interest, I gotta ask, who stands to lose if we ask for our own or what's due to us? Or should I say that there is nothing due to us? See, you have to find out why anybody black could be opposed to black self-interests. And the more that we discuss not being dependent, but our own independence, the more threatening it appears that we become. But I gotta ask you, what does it mean when Democrats can categorize your pain, your suffering, your plight as anti, as hate, as against someone else? I have to ask, go to the calls. Call you on the Mays Jackson Show. How important are our votes to Democrats? How important are black people to the Democratic Party, in your estimation?
Mays.
Uh-oh, is this James Say?
No, this is Desmond.
Desmond, what's up, boy? You stole James Say's Mays.
That's because I heard James in my spirit. I'm like, the Democratic Party does not respect us, nor do they need us. And here's why. I believe on a couple of shows that you've done, they said the number of black votes that's needed just to win wasn't even a full number. It was like 3-4% of the black vote we need. So they've been writing us up out of this thing from the get-go. So Democrats, they don't have to give us nothing, but we've gotten to the point of we not about to lay down and take it either. It's mighty funny that we was just fighting at City Hall to keep some black awards with a certain group of individuals that decided to cop a plea and go ahead and go with it. So now all of a sudden, go ahead.
Go ahead.
So now all of a sudden, now that we start telling the truth, and there's a lot more people that's speaking up, and there's a lot more people that mindsets have changed. The thing that they said is what was stated was harsh. They never disputed the facts that came out. We just don't want you to say it like that. We want you to say it from the old show, smooth jazz, smooth jazz. Smooth jazz. No, we got to give you we got to give it to you from the street. And the streets are saying, we's tired, boss. We's tired.
Thank you, Desmond. Desmond. Hey, y'all, it's the Mace Jackson Show. Let's take a quick break. Then when we come back, I'm going to take your calls. But I got to start to ask, you know, Riis, I felt a certain way when I woke up to find that, you know, we about to have a car parade, I think. Shout out to Will Calloway and everybody that put that together. That is the anniversary of the attacks on our community. And I really think that the Democrats are playing a dangerous game here by minimizing or attempting to minimize a voice that they've deemed credible when they recognize they want to talk to black folks. And I think it's a really dangerous space to be in, considering everything that's happened. And I really hope that I would hope that black folks would be hip to the game. See, when we start talking about our self-interests and it becomes a problem, you got to ask, why is it a problem and to who? And sometimes you got to look at the fact that you ever been somewhere where somebody don't want no questions? They just feel like they should just have all access and all rights to your stuff. Like, and they like somebody just come to your house and go in your refrigerator, open the refrigerator and look. They not like, family, you're welcome to anything in the refrigerator, but don't go in my refrigerator. Right? I feel like everybody thinks it's their job to be able to go into our refrigerator, and if we say, hey fam, you can get some, but that costs da-da-da-da-da-da. Because I think people oftentimes want to come to our refrigerator. Riis, they want the good cheese. They don't want they want to cut your Havarti. They don't want no slices. Riis, they you know, when somebody, you ever bake a cake or cook something and you trying to have it perfect until it's time to eat, and somebody just be like, oh, it ain't gonna hurt nothing, I'm gonna take a bite. And you be like, did you just take a drumstick off my chicken before Riis, I don't even like anybody to read my newspaper. I will buy 2 newspapers just so you don't crack mine. And I sometimes feel like when people are used to just having your stuff to run through without having to respect you, that when you stop and say, whoa, 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 they be like, who he think he is? And I think we're going down a bad path here. It is really a bad path to me to be attempting to exploit for the party to be exploiting racial differences. Does that make sense? Like, it's a different thing, like, to be over here in the corner, but for the party to be trying to exacerbate or exploit racial differences at a time, Riis, when, like, I feel like, did nobody see the nooses? Is that just not, that's just not an issue? Like, nobody. At a grammar school. Riis, kids, 10 people killed in Buffalo. Not a peep from anyone. I do wonder where is the sensitivity to, like, remember when I told you America's love affair with black people and they time for sympathy was over? I think that time is up. Let's talk about it some more when we come back. Do Democrats really care about the black vote? What issues do they like? Have they tackled it? Riis, name a real issue that impacts black folks that's been tackled. We still ain't even got cannabis. They be making up new rules and got, like, are we, like, they will hurl hate while choking. Like, I gotta ask. Am I the only one that doesn't notices that we don't have a piece of any cannabis? Like, I wonder, Riis, how does the selective memory work? We're going to talk about it some more when we come back. It's the Mays Jackson Show.
The Mays Jackson Show will be back after this break.
It's official West Suburbs and Chicagoland area. The Naperville Soulfest is back, featuring a live performance by Avery Sunshine and Carl Thomas on Friday, June 3rd, and Kendra the Family Soul, Selena Johnson, and Riis. On stage Saturday, June 4th at Naperville Settlement, located at 523 South Weber Street in downtown Naperville. If you missed the last Naperville Soulfest, you don't want to miss this one. Get your discounted tickets on Eventbrite or visit NapervilleSoulfest.com for more event details. For vendor opportunities with access to over 7,000 attendees, text 630-202-6431. That's 630-202-6431. Spend your first weekend in June at the Naperville Soulfest with Avery Sunshine Friday, June 3rd, and Kendra the Family Soul on Saturday, June 4th. Check out NapervilleSoulfest.com for more information.
And now, traffic and weather.
Today, the Biden administration is releasing what it calls a new strategy to fight domestic terrorism following a...
Good afternoon. What's in it for the Black People Media family? The time is now 7:43 p.m. and I'm Riis the Ruler with your Chicagoland area traffic and weather report. As we head over to the Kennedy, O'Hare to the Loop is an hour and 8 minutes. Outbound to O'Hare will be 45 on the Edens. Deerfield to Exchange is an hour and 17 minutes. Exchange to Deerfield will be 48. On the Eisenhower with Thorndale to the Loop, 55 minutes. 60 minutes back out to Thorndale. On the Stevenson from I-355 to the Dan Ryan, 39 minutes. Outbound will be 51. Or the Bishop Ford is from I-80 to the Dan Ryan, 33 minutes, 41 minutes to I-80. The Dan Ryan is still 16 minutes to the Loop, 23 minutes to 95th. On DuSable Drive South, 55th to Jackson will be 7 minutes. Jackson to 55th will be 8. On the north side of things, Randolph to Bryn Mawr, 13. Bryn Mawr to Randolph, 16. Today's weather is currently 88 and partly cloudy. Expect rain later tonight.
Cause when it comes to race, they always changing up the narratives. Terrorism. They say you a patriot, call you a hero. I call it terrorism. And that's on the real. You know and we know. I say it's terrorism. They say you a patriot, call you a hero. I call it terrorism. And that's on the real. You know and we know. I say it's terrorism. They say you a patriot, call you a hero. I call it terrorism. And that's on the real. You know and we know. I say it's terrorism. They say you a patriot, call you a hero. I call it terrorism. We still out here trying to get our reparations, but the government pump faking out here hesitating. I'm out here trying to keep my peace, so I keep meditating. The media make us look bad, they taint our reputation. Look, it's so sad that COVID causing toe tags. You claim you so patriotic, but you ain't wearing no mask. You out here wildin' with your MAGA flags and showing your ass. You wanna be part of some type of revolution so bad. Look, you talk revolution and constitutional rights, homie. I guess we forgot about back in the days when all of the business was whites only. Yeah. George Floyd got justice. Juneteenth got much respect. They made it a national holiday. Man, it's all good, but cut the check. They giving out all of these vaccines, putting it in you like caffeine. Was it all in the part of the plan? I bet money like DraftKings. It's land of the free, home of the brave. 1776, we wasn't free till 1865, so we wasn't part of that shit. And that there's terrorism.
You are listening to the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my man DJ Riis the ruler. And Riis, all you really got to do is they hung up on us. Call us. Give us a call, 872-259-7474. I really do want to know how important are black voters to the Democratic Party. Like our issue specifically. It's funny to me because I've had the opportunity to observe a lot. And I really think that people are taught to be dismissive of black people. To be dismissive of our thoughts, our feelings, our processes. And it becomes so apparent to me that people in the Democratic Party often think that we are just chips to be moved around the board at their whims. That we probably shouldn't count. They probably prefer it if we didn't count, we didn't read, we didn't ask questions. Like, as if we are playthings. Like, you ever feel like, Riis, somebody be like, they want you, that I often feel like in this space that we occupy, that people determine what black people should feel and how we should respond. And once they've decided what's the best and most appropriate response for black folks, it's like, y'all should not be looking around and asking all of these stupid questions. What do you mean? Like, why are you asking what's in it for the black people? Like, do you understand that by asking that, you are upsetting the balance of power? That for so many people, black people are their path to success. Right? You think about really us in sports, entertainment, even politics. It's often people are not interested in our brain power. They're interested in our physical. But what is the last real issue of black people that Democrats tackled in Illinois or Cook County? Like, what was something that we complained strongly about and it got fixed? Pick something. Give me an issue. Education? Guns? Economics? Pick something in the last 20 years for black people that has improved or gotten better. Riis, we saw Laquan McDonald get shot down 5 times. I mean, not 5 times. 16 shots. We saw him. 16 shots. We saw no change. Riis, we saw George Floyd choked out, killed with a knee to his throat. No change. Riis, we opened up new cannabis industries, new gaming industries. No change. And you look in our neighborhoods and it's murders and crime. And I gotta ask, remember I was saying, what's the best black neighborhood to live in? When has someone stopped and meaningfully addressed issues that impact black people? Not what they think is good for us, but actually meaningful. When has something been done for black people specifically to make our plight in this country better without there being the ulterior motive of someone to take advantage of it? I applaud all of the efforts of all of the other groups, of all of the marginalized communities in this country, in this state, in this city. Whether you are LGBTQ, whether you are Asian American, whether you are Latino, I recognize all of our abilities and all of us have unique struggles. But I gotta ask the Democratic Party, what happens when you ask, not me, but black people to apologize for the state of affairs that we are in? Unless I'm incorrect and it's sweet out here for black people. Sweet for you, Riis? Life good?
Not at all.
I look at our young people and I look at the opportunities. And I do struggle with what the priorities are. You know, I think I've lived my life really not to be I don't want to be the least offensive. But I've never really set out to be hurtful, harmful, or to try and cause pain, suffering to anyone. I really have not. And I've been enlightened to some of the things that have been some of the word choices that I have chosen and how they could impact people. And I'm down. You know what I'm saying? I'm down to work on that. Like, I really am. But it screams to me that we haven't heard anybody political. We haven't heard any of our allies stand up for the nooses. It's just crazy to me that we are in a space where black people, where the Democratic Party is expecting black people to apologize for being oppressed. Like, shut up before I give you something to cry about. And I gotta tell you, my cousin, not me, my cousin, feels a certain way about men addressing women when the men that they talking about is in the space. I feel like I do feel like black women are unprotected. I do, right now. I look around and I see, you know, guys, I jumped on a bus. Rallied y'all up in a defense of a black woman. One that I barely knew. Because I just was like, we can't have that. Right? Like, we just can't have it. Like, you can explain it however you want to explain it, and everybody else was saying he wasn't, right? And I just be thinking, like, that's really? Like, nobody? Like, family. We stood for everybody. Anytime somebody black is in trouble. And it is tough for you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel away. Like, if you knew, and I thought about what was the timing of all this, Riis, and it all came around the fact that black people started to say, we're not each other's enemy. See, it was all good when Mace Jackson was taking whacks at all the black people and finding reasons and ha 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 ha. And when I was like, let's whoop on our elected officials and let me whoop on podcast A and let me say something crazy about these people. And when I was the mad rapper, and as long as my anger was directed internally, it was all good. But when I said to y'all, we don't need to be fighting each other. Pay attention and look who is benefiting from it. And I just, it's a scary thing to know that people will whisper to you all the time and say thank you. Oh, I can't. It's a shame that people will send you press releases and send you and ask you and won't say a word, but expect you to run up the hill. You know, Riis, we got to go back to the mornings. At least until the end of June. Riis, you might even get you a paid vacation.
I like the sound of that. When is going to happen?
Like, wait, when we start?
Well, yeah, when is gonna happen?
But I look like, y'all, I think it is crazy to me. It is crazy that in this day and in this time that the Democratic Party, not some dude, but the Democratic Party has resorted to race baiting as a campaign tactic. That's kind of crazy to me. Like, and not one word about a noose. Like, not one press release about Buffalo. Like, nothing. Like, still no, like, absolutely no acknowledgement of the 2-year anniversary. None. Riis, we got on buses. We raised money to go be in defense of black women. Like I told you, I could take my hits. And I know that they want to find ways and rules to say, well, this is legal because you said that. Like, I'm standing right here. And it's funny to think about people who have the M&M pass, can come into your neighborhood because, you know, we accept everybody into our neighborhood. Meanwhile, they attack, and we look like we don't know what's going on. Oh, I didn't see that. Riis. Like Riis. They don't want us to recognize that the game is our own self-interest. Because if everybody has been taking from your pile to pad their nest, then obviously they're not going to like it when you share that you should have a padded nest too. But yeah, I think we'll know when I get Riis. Somebody told me today that there was a truck in the 8th Ward that was riding around picking up signs from somebody that I know, love, and care about. Now, the 8th Ward is one of the blackest wards in the city of Chicago. There's no reason for anybody on this side of town to be against the person that I love. Not one reason. So then you got to say, who are the people that would have paid ops to come into the neighborhood, and who does that? Riis. All of this hate for the Mays Jackson show reached a boiling point when we said we need to be unified, when we started to recognize our power. That's not lost on me, and it should not be lost on you. For too long, black people have been a profit center. We were brought to this country as a profit center for everyone but ourselves. You ever seen that thing where the picture where they got the game and it's on the backs of all them black people, and all them rich people are sitting around, and they said all they had to do was stand up and they'll turn the whole table over? You all are on the verge of standing up and turning the table over. It's like with everything that has happened over the last 3 to 5 years, the biggest issue that we have not even looked at. How many people were on board to How many people marched in solidarity when Laquan McDonald was murdered in cold blood and they saw it? How many times has anybody been with us? And I gotta ask you, does the Democratic Party really care about the black vote or the issues that impact us? I think it's a very dangerous game and a very dangerous path that they are being led down with these pursuits that they are on. And black people got real issues in real time. Not to minimize anybody else's, but we as black folks need to focus on black people issues. They will tell us that it's our carjackers. They will tell them that it is our crime. But when we say we want the resources to be redeployed so that we can address those issues, when we start counting, when we start reading, when we start asking questions, when it ain't just okay because you said so, because we know how to count. Because we had to survive. Where you had all of the privilege and all of the tools in the toolbox, we've had to scrap, hustle, survive. And I'm starting to realize that people just don't like self-aware Negroes. Riis, my man Jay say you can't sell me bull because I know the prices. It's been a lot of people who have been selling bull and don't think we know the prices. But we know when you faking. Riis, I hate no one. I love everyone. I love the opportunity to have conversations. I love debate. I love to disagree, to find an opportunity for us to find a point of unity. But Riis, I'm never going to stop counting. I'm never going to stop reading. And I think it's a lot of people in the world that be confused because they think, what is that nigga doing on a nag? Who is this reading, writing, arithmetic Negro around here stirring up the other Negroes? Don't y'all know y'all should just be happy I'm in your presence? Look, y'all. One day we gonna be free. I know that sounds crazy. I know a lot of people made a lot of money off of trained Negroes. A lot of it. Y'all need to watch Yellowstone. I don't wear a bridle, I don't wear a saddle. It's the Mays Jackson Show. Riis, you got anything else today?
No, man. You know what? But like I told you, especially after you reading that, I guess you can't say where it was advocated. So if it's something like Chicago gave $10 million out, and black people got $250,000, that's where you got to leave it at. You can't say who got this, who got that.
But the paper does. It's like, but I'm reading the paper. See, the problem is that I read the paper differently, right? Remember how I told you, what's the Queen's Gambit? If you ever saw the show The Queen's Gambit, that's how the paper is to me. When she used to go to sleep at night and look at the chess pieces moving on the thing after she took her little pills or whatever, and then the world opened up to her, that is how the paper is to me. The paper is like when I read a political story, I don't see and my problem is you get the unfiltered explanation of the story, not the censored version of it. And I understand that. Like, I understand how. That's why I told you I got to start doing stuff in the afternoons, because you just get the raw version. You don't get a filter. And I thought that I did filter, but I'm going to tell you, I got you. But understand that the problem is that I can read. And I can put the math to what I read. See, a lot of people are used to being able to give us, and we should just be happy and look at what they say and be like, remember I told you when I said something the last time and somebody was like, because I said so. I was like, hey, that ain't what the papers say. And the problem always comes when you dispute what the papers say. Because there's this presumption that regardless of what the papers say, you gonna do what I said. But Riis, 50-year-old man, bro. I know how to read. I know how to count. I know how to do those things. And I find that one of the things that's always hilarious to me is when people get frustrated that you can read and count. Then I'll be like, well, what you on? If you mad that I can read and count, I got the same tools you do. What's the matter? 3 + 3 is 6. Not 5. Oh, Riis, the presumption of blackness. I think that should be a post. What are the things that people assume about black people? That we know or that we don't know? I be thinking they think we ain't been here before. But Riis, I've been here, back, and again. And how my man Puffy say? Can't stop, won't stop. Take that. It's the Mays Jackson Show. I'm up out of here. Hey, can I just tell you though? It is my sincerest hope that all parties involved will recognize that this is a platform for conversation and discussion. I recognize that in times of politics, people look to use whatever tools that they can in the toolbox. I do think that it is a dangerous path that we are going down as people seek to exacerbate or exploit racial issues in our communities. Racial, gender, and marginalized community issues. I think it is a sad tactic of the party. And I would say that to any group that feels offended or harmed, I'm opening the door to have a conversation with anybody. But I do not think that we can afford to allow our differences to be used as tools by those that mean none of us any good. So with that in mind, I'm gonna call this a wrap. Riis, you got anything else? You done? You straight? You like, I said it last time and then you went on 11 more minutes. Look, y'all, this is the Mays Jackson Show. I am your host, where every single day we ask the question, what's in it for the black people? Now, if you don't like it, you can still tell them. Mays said, we out of here.
Let's get down to business and go ahead and address the facts, man. Lightfoot seems more lesbian than black. Rahm Emanuel's another case. He was just as tired. 50 closed schools left much to be desired. Police had Anjanette naked on that body cam. They suppressed the footage so it couldn't touch a lot of hands. Reminds me of that 16 shots in that cover up. Both of them similar, so I went and dug it up. George Floyd killed, a lot of riots happened in the town. Southside burned and they wouldn't let them bridges down. Grandmother sick, need a prescription and plus a couple groceries. groceries, you gon' have to travel just to get it now. COVID-19 out here shutting all the business down. Not enough SBA loans to even give around. So many failed businesses that you can put them in the pile. If you don't survive the pandemic, it's gon' sit you down. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System that milked us so bad, we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System that milked us so bad, we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks. Shout out to Willie Wilson, hope one day you get to send it. We need some different players in the game to handle business. So many shady characters like Madigan and Blago. But when you really break it down, it's typical Chicago. City full of gangsters, it's what the land was built on. Same streets with hood legends DNA is spilled on. Carjackers out here